Hi everyone, Dr. Vaughn, and I actually have one of your classmates here on the video Zoom with me. We're going to try to recording a very quick video about the project for this week using SPSS to do the histogram and the binned frequencies. And along the way, we'll actually redo that third piece, which is the descriptive statistics. So first thing, we need to log into SPSS. So we'll go to myapps.gcu.edu. Now again, you need to have that Citrix receiver installed, and there are directions on how to do that if you don't already have that piece. Also, a couple of students have reported to me today that Grand Canyon Technical Support was very helpful in helping them get that SPSS Citrix receiver installed. So once you do have the receiver, the launcher installed, then you should go to a screen like this, and I go to Apps, and I'll just double click on SPSS and open it in the Citrix receiver in order to launch the SPSS software. So this will take just a minute, depending upon how slow the server is at the time. And we'll know that we're ready because we'll get two windows popping open that look blue. All right, on the PC, you can see the Citrix receiver still working in the background here. And now we're at the launch screen. All right, and now we're into SPSS. So this is the welcome file. If you've saved your data set before, you can actually load it through this feature right up here. I have not saved it. I probably should, but I haven't. So I'm just going to exit out of this open window, and we'll be working right in the main SPSS window. Again, there are two tabs down here, data view and variable view. I want to start with variable view and type in the name of my variable. For our project, which I have over here, we're looking at anxiety scores. So I'm going to give this a proper name. I'm going to call it anxiety. I'm also going to change this to having 0 decimal places because they're all integer values. And under measure, I'm going to change this to scale. Once I've got the name and the decimals and the measure, I'll switch over to the data view and I'll begin my data entry. So I'm going to position the windows just so I can read the data and type at the same time. And I'm going to just be going down 69, 61, 84, 99, 66, 86, 91, 94, 54, 66, 77, 48, 70, 70, 86, 98, 56, 43, 70, 88, 78, 53, 85, 53, 40, 86, 79, and I think I have 3 more to go. So let me slide this over, get that last column, 58, 40, and 89. Okay, I have 30 scores. It's been indexed. So once I have all my data entered in here, now we're going to do this frequency table with 6 classes. Now, I'll save a deeper explanation for another medium, but I'm going to show you the most efficient way to do a binning process to separate these 30 scores into 6 data class ranges. So I'm going to go to Transform and use the Visual Binning tool. The variable that I wish to bin is the anxiety variable, and I'll use the arrow or drag it over and then press Continue. I need to give the binned variable a different name, so I'll call it bin anxiety. It also tells me the minimum and the maximum, and you can set whether you want the upper end point of each range to be included or excluded. I'm going to select included. Again, under a separate conversation, I can explain the difference between those two. Now I'm going to go to Make Cut Points. In order to separate our data into 6 classes, I need to draw 5 subdivision lines. And pull this up really quick on the whiteboard. I can explain that to you. The cut points is where you're placing a divider. And so you actually see I have the picture already up here. If I have a number line, if I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuts, then it separates the number line into 6 pieces. So these are the cut points, and these are the bins. So I need 5 cuts to make 6 bins. So I'm going to set the first cut point location to 49. And I know this because earlier today I did a little bit of trial and error for what's going to be a good first cut point location. But I do want 5 cut points for the reason I just explained. And what that starting cut point of 49 does with a number of cut points 5, that gives me a width of 10, which is a nice round number. And so the first bin is going to be scores from 40 up to 49. The next bin is going to be from 50 up to 59, 60 up to 69, etc. And the last bin will be 90 up through 99. It's actually, the first bin is all the numbers 0 through 49, but the lowest number was 40 anyway. And the biggest bin is going to be 90 through whatever, as big as you want, but 90 through 99 because 99 is the biggest value that I got. So these are the numbers that are going to be a nice set of 6 bins for this particular data set, and then I'll press apply. There are also some options for it to automatically do the binning for you, or have, just subdivide this into equal sized pieces. I like making my own bins. Then I'm going to hit make labels. That will create labels that correspond to those data ranges for each of those 6 bins. And then I'll press OK. Now it says it's going to create one new variable called bin anxiety. That's okay. I get some output window stuff that I don't care about, so I'm going to get rid of, just minimize the output window. And you notice that I have this new variable, which is the bin anxiety. And that's really what we needed to answer most of question 1 and 2 over here efficiently. Now, I know that that was kind of fast, but this is a video, so you can go back and rewind it and pause it and get all of those steps down and follow along. Once I have my bin anxiety, now I'm going to create a frequency table with class, frequency, relative percent, and cumulative percent, as the directions say in part 1. So to do that, I'm going to go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and Frequencies. I'm going to take the bin variable and move it over into this column. And I'm going to say display frequency tables, yes, make sure that box is checked. And then I'm going to press OK. But at this point, I'm going to show you that we can also do question 2 here. I can create the histogram at the same time that I do the frequency table for part 1. And to do that, I go to Charts, and I select Histograms. You don't need to show the normal curve on the histogram. So with all of those settings, I don't need the stats right now. I'm going to press OK. And in my output window, now I get this table, and this is our frequency table that's got our 6 classes, our frequencies, the percents, and the cumulative percents. This column of valid percents is really just a duplication of the percents because we didn't have any invalid entries. So you can double click this to change some features of it, but really I'm pretty happy with this. This is what they asked for. So I can right click this table and copy it, and then I can paste it into a Word document where I'm working on my project. Now I can add some narrative around this. Here is my frequency table, etc. But there's the output that I need for question 1. Okay, so you can work on formatting and the narrative part of this project, but that's how you get it out of SPSS and into Word. Now, the second part, the histogram, is right below it. It's here. And so this is a histogram. If you double click on it, it brings you into the chart editor. And in the chart editor, you can do things like change the title, change the color of the bars, and other things. There's all these different editing tools that are available in the chart editor. It also shows you mean, standard deviation, and N. But I'm going to leave this because I'm going to show you a second way to do the histogram that I like a little bit better. This will absolutely work for you. If you like it, go for it. But I'm going to show you a second tool that's a little bit more powerful. So I'm going to minimize this output window. Again, it's not gone, it's still there. I'm going to go all the way back to my data window. And now I'm going to go under graphs and use the chart builder. And under the chart builder, you have the options to do all kinds of different graphs. Bar graphs, line graphs, scatter plot diagrams, histograms, box plots, frequency polygons. I'm going to go to the histogram tool, and I need to grab which kind of a histogram do I want to create. I just need a simple one, so I'm going to use this first template, simple histogram. I'm going to drag it up into my gallery window. And then I need to say which variable is going to be displayed along the x-axis, and we want to display our binned frequencies. So I'm going to drag that over and put it on the x-axis. And this is basically our, looks a little funny, but this is our frequency, our histogram. Now you can also do things like edit the title using a custom title. So histogram of student anxiety scores with 6 classes. I could add, under titles, I could add a subtitle. Okay, created for 26 by Rick Vaughn. I can change the colors of the bars. If I go to the bars, edit properties of the bars, then I could change the color under chart appearance. And I could choose a nice, maybe, I don't know, Grand Canyon purple for the colors of the bars. So there's all kinds of options to edit your histogram. But when you're done, you just press OK. And now I get this histogram. And it looks like it's the same one. It's just the bars aren't quite as tall. The other graph was a little bit more elongated vertically. You can also still double click this to make some edits to it if I have a spelling error or capitalization mistake or something like that. So these are my histograms. You can see they look kind of the same, just with that, the other one had slightly longer bars. But when I'm happy with the picture that I have in my output window, I can right click, but instead of copy, I'm going to copy as an image. And so now it's going to save it as a picture file. So when I go into my Word document where I'm working on my report, and I go to question part 2, and I want to paste in the histogram, now when I do a paste operation, it's going to paste it in as a picture, which is nice because now I can resize it and move it around on the page as necessary. And I wasn't able to resize the table where I just did a direct cut and paste. So pictures and graphs, copy them as pictures. Tables will cut and paste just fine. So, add some narrative around this, but this is basically question 1. Add some narrative around this. This is basically question 2. Now that third part that we did in class the other day, question 3. For that part, I really want the standard deviation, the variance, the mean, and the median. So, and I want that for the original unbinned variable. So I'm going to go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and Frequencies, but I'm going to move the binned variable out of there and move the non-binned variable in. And this time I'm not going to display the frequency table, but this time I am going to check the stats box and display the mean and the median, the standard deviation, and the variance. Then I'll press OK, and now it added, this is the histogram I don't want. That's all of the data. But here's the summary table with the mean, the median, the standard deviation, and the variance for the original unbinned variable. So I can copy that table out and paste it into my Word document as in essence the third part of this question. So let me just close this video by saying one thing. In general, I don't want you to let output from SPSS speak for itself. So please add narrative around these output windows in general. This one, it didn't print out anything except what we wanted to know. So I'll probably let you get away with it, but in future projects, you'll have more information than is being asked for. And it's your responsibility then to extract the meaningful information from that table. So you might do that something like this. As you can see, the mean is 71.23. Similarly, the median of the data set is 70.0, etc. So now, go on and talk about the standard deviation and the variance. All right, so it only takes like a couple extra seconds to write this sentence where you're extracting the information from the table and then putting it into your own words. All right, and that's what I'd like you to see on your project. I don't think that it's necessary for you to have an APA reference. We didn't really use anything except this. You can add one to Grand Canyon PSY520 Project. I didn't write this project, so you wouldn't quote me. You'd quote Grand Canyon University if you wanted to add a reference. But again, it's not something that I look for on these projects. Maybe your paper that you're going to do at the end, but not on these projects. All right, I'm going to end this video. Hope this has been helpful. That's how you do Project 1 in SPSS.